Hello folks, welcome to my channel, Westy Travels. My name's Col, and the good news is it looks like winter's finally bloody over. So this week we're off on a holidays to enjoy a wee bit of good weather. You can see behind me, I think there, that's perhaps a Jura on the Isle of Jura. And we're heading just now on the MV Aberdeen over to Islay. So we're going to do a wee bit of walking, a wee bit of camping, and a wee bit of exploration of the beautiful island of Islay and Jura, and enjoy yourselves in some sunshine for a change. Just waiting to get off the ferry,
Mummy kiss.
hopefully,
Mummy
and
kiss.
then find a park up for the night.
Kiss.
I want perfect parking. I'll be getting my spirit level out.
Going forward.
Spirit level, the wheels
Watch
in this
I don't
van
run
meant
over
to
the
be
dog.
balanced. That's us arrived on Islay now, just before dark. You see the moon right over my shoulder there, and across there, the other side of the bay, that's Bowmore, the town, the island's main town there. So we've managed to just find a wee parking spot just down by the beach, basically behind us there. So we've got a nice full moon and the beach to wake up to, and young Barra here is dying to get off the lead because there's dozens of rabbits just running around here in the sand dunes. So I'll catch you in the morning anyway, guys, because we're tired from all the travelling and I want to get my head down then soon. Okay, catch you soon, bye. Get me alcohol, women. What did I say? I had to retake that because Kirsty's fairy lights their van went on, and she's awful van proud, I should say, not house proud. So I had to crack that joke again. Morning guys, that's us in Bowmore, the first day of our Islay trip. Got over in the ferry last night, back in 9 was it? And basically I had a couple of drinks and then parked up in a nice bay overlooking MAA Bay. So I've came in this morning because I've woke up, my mind is totally foggy, so I need my coffee, and then we're going to get a nice drink of coffee and then plan the day ahead, where I think we're planning a nice hike, aren't we?
Yep.
But first I want to show you the coolest church in the world, I think. And it's at the top of the hill in Bowmore, and what's unique about it is I'll show you up here is the church is totally round. And do you know the reason it's totally round, Kirsty?
So that it doesn't let evil spirits in or something. That's from the last.
She's close. The reason it was built round is so the devil doesn't have any place to hide in a corner. Is that not cool? You see it's totally round. Quite a unique one. And it's situated at your top of your hill, facing down towards the harbour in Bowmore. A cool wee church. So while Kirsty's picking up dog poo, we'll head down and find somewhere for a nice coffee. Church appears to be open, so I'm just going to take a wee peek. Apparently it's quite a pretty wee church. Not too many corners. A long time since I've been in a church as well. Very unusual around Churchy. Quite cool, it's still left open so you can actually check it out. I always feel you're about to get in trouble when you went to a place like this. There's Kirsty over there. She's obviously an evil spirit and is scared to go inside a church.
Good boy.
So we're here at MAA Bay. It's about 11-mile drive from Bowmore, and we're just heading through the sand dunes. It's a lovely beach with surf coming in. A lovely day like this, it allows us to take the wee man for a walk and get some nice views. And we'll stick the drone up, hopefully give you some scenery from that.
You ever wonder if days like these last with one another, with the feeling pass? Would you find out with me if it all starts to crumble? We'll search the pieces for a hope or a mumble.
Oh, glory.
It's not for me to decide if I should be the one by your side. And hope we know when it's better to say goodbye. You ever wonder if we know what's best for one another? Are we just another project? We're both fixer-up.
Woke up feeling a bit rubbish today, so we've knocked the hike and the camping overnight idea on the head till tomorrow, and instead we're down here at Port Asig and we're going to jump over to Islay and Jura on the wee ferry you can see just coming in there. And we'll go up to, well, it's virtually the only town park house on it, and we'll just pitch the van there and get the awning up for the night and a wee fire going maybe by the beach on the Islay and Jura. Sounds good, eh?
When you're lost and no one's there, and you wonder
this is us on the Isle of Jura, folks. And the island's only real town, so most of 90% of the population live in the place. It's called Craighouse. There's few hotels, few shops, most of the population. You can see over my shoulder there, you've got the Paps of Jura, the famous mountains living there. You've also got in the town behind me over here, you've got the Ferem de Elixir whiskey, you've got the Isle of Jura whiskey distillery there as well. Not a fan of the whiskey myself, so I'm sure some people do it. But a pretty little town in a day like this. You see just behind me, seaplane, I just missed filming it, just landed in the harbour as well. That'd have been pretty stunning, but as usual I'm too slow. So in Craighouse you've got a main hotel here over the shoulder here, nice big hotel. Right next door to your Jura whiskey distillery. There's also you were saying there's a chip shop as well, and a wee restaurant as well, so there's a few things here, a few coffee houses as well. You can't actually get sorry if you hear me over the noise of the seaplane, you can't actually get a ferry directly to Jura. You've either got to get a ferry over to Islay, then the small ferry across onto Jura, or else if you've got lots of money you've got to land in the seaplane. Ruin my video with the noise of it. Just having a wee cappuccino in the local tea, sorry, as well, in the local restaurant here. I'm still not feeling well. Kirsty's telling me she's coming round for seafood dinner tonight, and she's going to go to the Kil Nave with the locals and abandon me. That's loyalty for you. Nice wee place here. What's it called? Antlers? So yeah, it's called Antlers, and you're kind of overlooking the
Community
bay
shop
here and the community shop down there. It's a nice wee place when it's a day like this. You're kind of looking up to the Paps of Jura. But I think that we'll get a day like this once every 10 years. Quite interesting feature here, straight across from the distillery, and there's some palm trees here. And with the same feature where I used to stay at Loch Lomond, there was a brewery there, and there's a thing called Whiskey Black. It's all the soot from the distillery. You can see the tree trunks are totally soot ridden. It's as if they've been burnt almost. And where I came from, all the houses had that on them. Yeah, it's called Whiskey Black. Fun fact for today. It's a nice wee chilled night on Jura, and going to head back to Islay now. Wasn't feeling very well yesterday, so we knocked the old hiking and camping on the head. We're just going to get a ferry back, find somewhere nice to chill out. These things happen, I suppose, eh? We'll see you back on Islay. Hi folks, that's us back onto the island of Islay now, and we've just got the ferry over to Port Asig. And we've came a couple of miles down from there to a site known as Lagen. And Lagen was the ancient seat of the Lords of the Isle that basically controlled the whole western seaboard of Scotland. And it was the Lords of the Isles who had cleared out the Viking element from Scotland, and they ruled from Lagen for basically a couple of hundred years in the 1400s, until they got into a dispute with the King of Scotland. I think it was King James, and he basically took the power off them, and they were just amalgamated into Scotland as a whole. It's a strange one because the whole power base of the Lord of the Isles was they sort of came out of the sea power with their ships, yet their base here, rather than being a port on the coast, it's actually, see it behind me and we get up to it close, it's actually a loch inside a big area of land. It's almost like a valley, a bowl, and inside that loch there was 2 or 3 islands, and they had a castle on one of them, and then there was a causeway under the water. Whether it back in the day was sort of visible or not, over to another isle was the Council Isle, and that's where they held all their sort of meetings, and the Lords of the Isles, all their disputes and solve any problems, and if they were going to war forever. But we'll take you onto the island here. It's quite cool. You kind of go through a reed bed, over a causeway, onto the castle itself, and there's kind of old ancient graves and stuff. So we'll take a quick look at that. So you can see here where we are. We're just behind me over here. We came from the visitor centre down to the edge of the loch itself, Loch Lagen, and we've got to get over to the island, the first one here where the castle's based on. So you can see here, originally there'd been a causeway, but they've built a walkway over the reed bed and the loch itself to get onto the island, which is quite picturesque in itself on a day like this. So this is your larger of the 2 or 3 isles here. It's called Islay and Jura, and behind me here is the remains of the old chapel, and you can see it's quite cool. When we go inside, they've still got some of the gravestones here. See, they're covered under glass just now to protect the old stonework, and it's old. You can see it close. The gravestone itself, as you can see the ship here, the old Burlin, then the warrior there beside it. A lot of them with the Celtic crosses. So the chapel's in ruins nowadays, but it's still quite cool to see a lot of the old Gaelic Celtic artwork on it. So when you come onto the larger island, Islay and Jura, however it's pronounced, you see a lot of old ruined structures, as well as some ones more complete. And a lot of these weren't the original Lord of the Isles buildings. They're kind of from a later date in the 15th century. But there's a kind of mix, but the visitor centre's quite cool. They've got an interactive display just now, and they take you through the different ages and everything and show you the periods they were inhabited at the time. And originally there was an 80-metre causeway, stone causeway, to get onto the main isle, and the island itself had a wooden palisade all the way around it to protect it. And here, as we're coming down here in front of me, this is you coming down to the edge of the big isle over to the council isle, where it was only the people in power, the lords themselves, that were able to go onto that isle, and they would lock themselves away on it and have their meetings and decide the fates of everybody in the western seaboard. Quite a cool wee historical place to visit, well worth it. You can get a nice tea and coffee in the visitor centre, but on a day like this, it's absolutely beautiful. You can see behind me, you're looking over to the hills on Jura, the Paps of Jura, quite stunning. And if you like your history like me, it's an absolute gold mine to visit. How you doing, guys? We've travelled up to the northwest coast of the island of Islay, and we're just going down to visit an ancient chapel with a cool story attached to it. So this chapel was built in the 1300s. It's called Kil Nave Chapel, and there's an old ancient Celtic cross still sort of stood beside it. But the cool story with it is to do with a battle between the Clan MacLeans and the MacDonald clan. I think it was in 1568, and they were fighting over an area of Islay called the Rhines of Islay, which is over another coast. It was promised to one of them in a dowry. It was never delivered. So anyway, the MacDonalds and MacLeans fought in a battle. The MacDonalds won, but the MacDonalds believed their chief had been killed, and he actually hadn't. And 30 of the MacLean clan fled to this chapel to seek sanctuary and holy ground, hoping that it'd be enough to keep them safe. But in actual fact, the MacDonalds, stricken with grief and anger, set the roof on fire, and all but one of the 30 died in the fire, and the chapel was burnt down, and you can still see patches of it today. But we'll have a quick explore of the grounds and the chapel itself and the old 13th century Kil Nave cross. So this is your Kil Nave cross, and as I said, it dates back from your 1300s, and apparently there's carvings on one side, but very faint. It's situated right in front of your old chapel. I'll tell you what, there's a big graveyard round here before Islay, and if you're going to be buried, not a bad place to be buried, to be honest, if you are going to be buried with that as your view. So this is situated up at Lagen, which is a kind of peninsula coming right up, and it's the RSPB, which is your Royal Society Protection of Birds. There's a reserve, nature reserve here. And this is your old chapel where the MacLean clan were burnt to death in here. Certainly no sign of the fire, but I imagine over the years they've had to repoint it to keep it standing and stuff like that, but the roof's gone. Cool view. Port Ellen, looking across the Mull of Oa. Enough said, guys. This is where your ferry normally comes in. A lot of the time what happens to us, they'll divert it to the north of Ireland because it's more sheltered. It normally just sails out of there to the mainland, Port Ellen. Nice white beach on a day like this. Our plan is we're getting a wee coffee just now and a wee cake, and then we're going to drive round the coast to the opposite bay. And years ago I camped across there in the Mull of Oa, and I remember there being a big totem pole and it being really grassy. So that's the plan, pretty cool. Everything is in the sunshine. How you doing, guys? Found a really cool park up for the night here down at the south of Islay, a place called the Mull of Oa, and it's facing across to Port Ellen. So you're just coming out and turning round. It's a nice flat grassy section overlooking the bay. You've got a nice wee private beach there. Very nice. So I think the plan is we're going to get a wee fire and go tonight. Have a couple of wee drinks. I think the weather's due to turn tomorrow, so it'll be quite cool here. Time to get set up. I've lost Kirsty and Barra. They're away wandering somewhere on their adventures as usual, chasing rabbits probably. Went for a wee walk along the beach at the Mull of Oa. I found a nice wee surprise. You see it's quite stunning round the beach here. Wee river running through it. As I got to the end of the beach, just where I'm coming into these cliffs, I came across this. Check this out. It's like a tiny wee chapel built into the rocks. I'm actually thinking they might have built it for me. You know, somebody wants to get married but doesn't have any friends. You can only fit 2 people in it. Is this not the world's smallest chapel? I can touch both sides virtually, and then here as well. Although, really nice view. Isn't that stunning? Really nice the wee surprises you come across on your adventures. Must have been steps up here to get to. Isn't that cool? Also nice coming across a wee fish and chip shop or something. That'd be perfect. But isn't that beautiful? That's us down on the south of the island, back in Port Ellen again. Just had a lovely breakfast in the Port Ellen Hotel. Really nice quality, highly recommend. And we're just going to have a little run around for Barra before we head down the Rhines of Islay, and then it'll be our last day before we get the ferry tomorrow.
Where are we going?
Heading to Portnahaven. It's the first time we've done this. We've been here on Islay 3-4 times before, and it's the first time we've came in the area where it's called the Rhines of Islay, and every time we've came here it's been pouring it down, and this is the first time. It's absolutely stunning, and the water's glistening with the sun. And we're going to go head down this single track road. It's to the kind of west and north of the islands, and it's quite remote. 2 or 3 small villages, Port Charlotte and Portnahaven, are well worth a visit as well because it's so quiet. So onwards.
Beautiful bay, isn't it? Look at that. Do you know what? I just love that bit. I've never seen like that last.
So this is a little fishing village in the Rhines of Islay, and it's called Portnahaven. And every time we've been here, we came down to this little beach, and there's always been lots of seals chilling out, but it's always been really wet, wild weather. And this is the first time it's kind of sunny. Like, we don't see any seals.
I think they've sheltered in here in the past. And
Yeah,
that's
just
why
a
it's
little bit.
always been such a sheltered bay.
We don't see anything, but what a beautiful little spot. You can see all the houses are just built into the cliffs. Very quiet. But that's our last stop on our Island of Islay and Jura trip. So we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll catch you on the next adventure. Toodaloo from Westy Travels. I'm Col, this is Kirsty, and the wee man's Barra. We'll catch you next time.